Guess what? I'm preaching out of Matthew too. If you want to turn to Matthew 6, we're going to just, I really only got one verse today. It could be quick. As a pastor, I know that's a scary thought for a pastor to say, right? But I'm going to start it off kind of with a joke. And I heard this one. Actually, it was funny because I was preaching about this person and this joke came up and I said, that is funny, right? You know Billy Graham. Everybody knows who Billy Graham is, right? If you don't, he's a famous preacher from the, I guess he got saved in 30, and I mean, all the way up to the 90s. I think he passed away in the 90s, right? Well, when he was 87 years old, he flew in on a plane, and one of his limousine drivers came up to pick him up. And he said, you know, I've done many things in my lifetime, but I have never drove one of my limousine. He asked the driver, he said, would it be okay if I drive it? He goes, you own it, so I guess, yeah. So he's letting him drive it, and this, he's going down, I guess, because he always rode in the back. He really didn't pay attention to speed limit signs, know how fast he could go. And this one area, it was like 55 instead of 65, and he was doing 65, and this state trooper saw him and said, he a young buck, I'm going to get this limousine. He pulled up after him, he pulled over, and he gets up there and he looks in and he gets his license and he goes back to the car, kind of scratching it. He recognized who it was. And he calls back to the station. He goes, Sarge, I know we're supposed to kind of let some high people, bigwig people go, right? Just with a warning. I just want to know if I should do this or not. He goes, well, do you have a school board representative or something? He goes, no, this person's higher than that, right? And he goes, okay, do you have a mayor, governor? No, this guy's way higher than that. And he's like, higher? Is it a president? Oh, no, he's much higher than that. He said, well, who do you have? He said, I'm not for sure. It must be Jesus because he's got Billy Graham as his chauffeur. Right? So I thought that was cute today. I just thought that was funny. I don't know if you ever heard it, but I heard it today, and I thought it was cute. Right? I guess Billy Graham driving you around, you're kind of important. But the one thing I wanted to kind of preach here, and the verse is kind of what Pastor was talking about today. If you go down to verse 4, right, 24, verse 24, it says, no man can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or else he would hold to the one despite the other. Ye cannot serve God and mammon. What I wanted to get on today is we got to watch, even as in church, who we're serving. And you go, what do you mean? And I always love this, and I've been preaching on this, and I told Pastor this, and I told many of you guys, the no-name people is what it's just been something that's been on my mind. God has just been burdening me for. You know, I don't want the credit nowhere. I want to put it on our church members. I want to put all the church, you guys, Suck Creek Mountain, you know, I want them here. I want to put it on their burdens. I want this church to be known as the church, Mountaintop Baptist Church, not, Pastor Rich, Brother Joe, just one person. I want to be known as the church of God, just serving God, God's people, just doing, and I know I said church of God, but I didn't mean like that, right? But a church serving God, right? I got to be careful with wording thing. But I want to name a couple of people in the Bible, and I want to see if anybody knows a name. The woman with the blood issue. Did she have a name? No. Right? How about the rich man that approached Jesus? What's his name? No name there. What about the Good Samaritan? We got to know his name. Man. What about the three wise men? We celebrate them at Christmas. We put statues. We got pictures of them, right? I mean, because we got their faces, their gowns, all the different things. We got to know their names, right? Think about that, right? Here's something. How many people were on the boat with Christopher Columbus when it hit land? Name one of them besides Christopher Columbus. What, Chris Columbus got on a boat by himself when he crossed seas and did it all by himself? No, there was crew. See, that's where we as Christians don't realize, pastor don't do it by himself, right? God uses us to help our pastor to serve this community. We don't do it by ourselves. We're not, first thing we do is we serve a great God, right? And I want to share another little story that I heard. And that's where being in church, you got to be careful. Are you here to serve yourself or are we here to serve God? You go, what do you mean? This story, let me get the names correct. Malachi Ham. Have anybody ever heard of Malachi Ham? Right? I kind of didn't really know who it was. I heard of the name. The name sounded familiar. He was a preacher from the 1800s into the early late 1800s, early 1900s. In 1934, he was preaching at this North Carolina church, right? And it was packed. And he was this evangelist preaching. He's preaching the word of God. It was packed out, right? And these two 14-year-old boys come in, and it's just packed because they've seen all these cars. They're like, what's going on? See, that's when people just showed up for church for no reason, right? I mean, I think when we first started coming here, there was people pulling in going, hey, what's going on? There's a few cars there, right? They used to do that in past years. Hey, must be something good going on. There's a lot of cars in the parking lot. Let's come, right? More people showed up when more people were there. Don't ask me why. It's like that. Crowds draw more crowds, right? And so these two boys walked in, teenage boys, and they didn't have a drum set up there. They didn't have the smoke going. They didn't have... they might have had a choir singing, but he's preaching, and these two 14-year-old boys go, man, as a kid, how many of y'all would have went and tried to find a seat somewhere? Mostly if you didn't come with your parents. They went, it's packed, we're leaving. And this is the person that they were getting ready to leave, and Malachi Ham was still preaching, and this guy noticed him, and he was an usher. He said, boys, don't leave. I'll find you a spot. He went to a pew and said, hey, could y'all slide down a little bit? I like these young men to sit there. And they sat there, and they actually surrendered themselves to preach. And to come up with the names, you might recognize the first name. I didn't personally, because I didn't know who it was. Let me get it. I wrote it down. Grady Wilson. If you don't know who it is, I really didn't know who Grady Wilson. Sounds familiar, right? Because he was the best friend of Billy Graham, right? Them two 14-year-old boys with Billy Graham and Grady Wilson. Grady Wilson was his right-hand man, helped him build up the churches when they preached the word of God. He preached at, I think it was the Giant Stadium, and it was packed. It was full. Billy Graham preached the word of God. But at 14 years old, them two boys could have walked away. But who was the usher? I don't know. You don't know. It's the known name people, like the ones in the Bible that God uses. But what if that usher was at church serving himself? I get to hear Malachi Ham. I'm going to make sure I got my spot sitting there. I ain't worried about who's coming in. And then Billy Graham never gets saved because they decide to go throw rocks in a river. You know, I've done that. I mean, you ever try to skip them and everything? I mean, that's fun, right? I mean, go listen to a guy preach and go throw some rocks. 14 years old, I probably want to go skip some rocks, right? But some man in the background, God knows who it was I bet you his count just still chinging up today. Just because he was willing to serve God, because a lot of us, and hey, I've been there, hey, come in, sit down, and just, hey, come on, Pastor, give me that message. I prayed up, I'm ready for you, I'm ready, God, give it to me. And the whole time, God's like, I gave it to you, you were sitting at the door, but you're sitting at the pew, why ain't you at the door doing your job? Man, that one hurt. Why did you, what about the gas station when the guy said hi to you? Yeah, I know. I mean, I should have said hi back or said the nod head, Yeah, let me come on. He might ask me for $1. I mean, we get like that. I mean, we're so focused on our side when God gives us the opportunity as Christians. What God are we serving? Are we serving God or are we serving ourselves? I won't say Satan because everybody says, oh, it's Satan. Satan don't want you to serve him. He just don't want you to serve him, the right one. See, that's where people get the so mistaken. They don't realize Satan don't use, you need to worship me. I just don't want you to worship him. Go look at yourself. Look how nice you are. Look how good you are. See, it's all about you. Don't worry about this God over here because he wants you to do for him. He wants you to serve him. Just worry about yourself and you'll be okay. Go to church. Pray for yourself. Pray for you. Get what you can get. Get what you want. And that's what Satan gets us. Because this pride, man, I tell you. I mean, oh yeah, it gets you. And I'm guilty of that sometimes. Because when somebody goes, Brother Joe, you did a good job. Yeah. No, I didn't. God helped me do that good job. See, and it hurts me because I know it's so easy to go and take that pride and put it on your shoulders and go, yeah. Right? And we don't even realize it because I try to give you guys credit and everything where you want. And I know sometimes you guys are like, I wish he wouldn't do that. I just rather have because I know we talk about the eggs and Russ a lot and Anthony and them coming all the way from, Kentucky? Kentucky, we try to give you guys praise about being here and everything. We just don't want to credit ourselves. I know what me and Pastor are doing, and I know you guys are like, I wish they wouldn't do that sometimes because you feel like we're trying to praise you. We are because we don't want it being on us. Right? Yeah, so we're putting it on you guys. Right? But it's just that you guys are in your spots. You're there. You're serving God. We know it, and we want, because it does feel good to get the pat on the back. Don't get me wrong. Like when we talk about the banana pudding, the eggs, the hugs, right? The faithful attendance, being here. We talk about that, right? But it's just one of them things we want to, we know. I like the good old pat. I can't reach back that far no more since the shoulder surgery. So right? We all like it. Don't get me wrong. But we got to be careful where we put that pat on the back. We just like, God gave me that. God allow me to do that. God gave me this. Because God has been burdening me, the no-name people, right? The no-name people. And it's just been a burden for me because like Lee, right? I love Lee to death, right? I want him to be our choir director. I hope he's still got a burden for music. The one Sunday I missed, I saw him up here with his guitar, and I was like, why do you do it when I'm not here? So I watched it on Facebook, but I didn't get to see it live because you and your sister sung one time when I wasn't here too. I was like, they always do the special. Y'all got to stop doing specials when I'm not here. Yeah, all right. When me and Russ are here next week, you here next week? Yes, sir. We need a special. Get Maddie well first, though. We don't want to get sick. But no, we love their singing. We're not trying to put them on a pedestal or nothing. We're just like the no-name person, the ones that do so much that you don't even realize, right? Because I know she never wants credit, but like the day we were doing yard sales, there was a person in here cleaning up, rearranging stuff, right? And she does the no-name people. That's what, who put the new roll of toilet paper on? The no-name person. Who picks up that piece of trash? The no-name. Cutting out grass, right? We know who does it, right? But it's just that the little extra things that people do, right, out of their own time, the no-name people. A lot of churches don't know them. I was a maintenance guy for a church for over 11 years. There were people that was at our church didn't know I was a maintenance guy. They knew I was a church member. They knew I worked for the church or the school, but they didn't know I was the maintenance guy, right? 11 years. And I'm like, how do you not know? But the no-name, because I didn't go out there and go, hey, I'm the maintenance guy, I cleaned the church, did my job, and went home, because it was the school. But that's where God said, serve one God. You can't serve two. And I always say it like this, right? You can't, let me see how I wrote it. Because I want to get that right. Um, my, you know, when you're serving your God, you know you can't serve your wife and serve God. You go, what? If you're not living for God, you're not going to live for your wife. And so you're not doing with God, you're not going to be proper with your wife. If you're not doing for God, you're not going to do proper for your kids. You got to live for God first and have him first. You got to be the one master. Your wife can't be your God. You're like, oh no. Yeah, people put their wives on pedestals. People put their kids on pedestals. Because you ever been to a football game and seen them parents out there? Their kid is the best kid, but can't tackle anybody. You know, their kid is the best thing since sliced bread, right? And that kid's on a pedestal. I guarantee you that'd be the first one that can't come to a Wednesday night or Sunday church service because their kids got practice. You know, because they're not serving the right God. They're trying to worship their kids. And that's what I meant by you can't have service your wife and your God. You doing right by God, God will show you the love to give your wife to your kids, and he will honor that. And that's where people make that mistake all the time. And the craziest part about serving God, it's not that hard. A pastor talked about it today. His yoke is light, and his burdens are his yoke is easy. His burdens are light, right? And you go, what do you mean? God can handle it, right? If we're serving God correctly, he could take all our burdens. And I heard that today, and something, I don't know where I heard it. You know when God takes your burdens off, they drop to the ground and they're under your feet. You know what the problem a lot of times is? We want to lay down and waddle in it, right? And get it right back on our backs, right? See, God drops our burdens if we're willing to. Anthony said it this morning. Things that we worried about a year ago, we'll laugh about today. Don't get me wrong. Today's burdens, paying the car payment. Oh, man, you know how much car payments are? Paying the car insurance. Paying for insurance that I don't even use. You know, it always make me mad because it seems like when I got car insurance, nobody ever hits me, right? But, as soon as it lapses one time, bam, somebody hits me, right? Just like when your medical payments are paid up, you got money in the bank, you're not sick. But let that last dollar spin, and somebody comes down sick, right? Car starts up every day. As soon as you're down to $2 in the banking account, you got a dead battery. You need to go buy an $88 battery. I had to buy two of them. My son's got one of them Ford trucks that has dual batteries, right? $240 from Walmart. I had to buy, right? Because you don't buy, one of them was still good, but you always buy two new ones, right? That's a little key thing if you ever have dual battery. Don't just buy one, buy two. AAA coming out of me. But, God, if we're serving God, he would have showed me, I needed you to have faith in me. When you had that $2, you were able to buy them batteries. You got that Did you even talk to me before you bought them batteries? No, you went and used that credit card, paid for it. Now you got that debt. How are you going to pay that? Have you talked to me? I haven't really. But that was Friday night. I went and bought the batteries, used the credit card. I took care of it. You know what? It's going to come back and bite me in the butt somewhere because I ain't let God take care of it. That's how little things like that we get out. Who was I serving that day? I was serving the food truck, trying to get it running. I wasn't serving God. I said, God, you know what's going on. Let my mind settle. Now I'm thinking about it. Now I got to go pray. So maybe we'll do an altar call today, Pastor, because I got to pray. Right? Because I got to get this taken care of for that $200 and some come on me. Let God take care of it. He's got the money to take care of it. But see how God can just use me when I'm preaching for me. I'm never pointing at you guys. Here's another crazy fact that I just found out, and I'm going to think, guys, Billy Graham was preaching, I believe it was the New York Stadium, right? They found this guy, and he's like 80-some years old now. He said him and 9 other men sought out to kill Billy Graham. They went to the stadium, that's before the detectors, and they had weapons to kill Billy Graham. And they kind of sat where they could get to the field and kill him. They didn't want to sit together because it kind of looked obvious. And they said they sat there, and they said, when he does the altar call, we're going to charge and take him out. Because nobody's going to realize what's going on. Because people coming up to the altar. He said he's listened to the preaching, and Billy Graham gets up there and says, if you're lost, God will seek you. Is he seeking you today? Are you here today because you need someone? And he said, somebody from behind him said, what are you seeking today? And he looked around and nobody said nothing to him. And he heard his voice and he's like, who just talked to me? I don't know if I'm not saying he's a liar, what he heard. I mean, God talks to us in a miraculous way, but he said, what are you here for today? And he's like, wow. He said, when it was over with, 9 out of the 10 boys trusted God that day. They were there to kill Billy Graham. They left Christians. I don't know what happened to the 9th one. I guess he didn't, when he started getting up there, he realized the other 9 weren't coming and went his way. And that just, they were serving the wrong God, found the right God, and the motive changed real quick. You know, a lot of our motives have changed real quick if we start, because Pastor gave us a burden to pray for God, this church, for 15 minutes. I have a burden on that myself because praying for 5 minutes is hard. And I don't know if you ever have a prayer closet. If you do and you pray more than 5 minutes, God bless you. You see how quick I talk? I pray this quick too. You know, 2 minutes, I'm done with prayer. I'm thinking about dinner, this, that, this. My mind don't stop ticking. Right? And pray for 15 minutes is hard. Right? How many of y'all been in that church? Pastor just got done preaching a great message. Mr. Johnson, will you say closing prayer? Oh, dear Heavenly Father, the pastor's message, blah, blah, this, and he's do point 1, point 2. You're like, is he really preaching his message? I just heard this message. What are you doing? You know, Burger King's got lunch crowd getting there, and I want a Whopper. What are you doing? Come on. 5 minutes later, you're like, are you still praying? Just say, thank you, get us home safe, amen. We're going, we're home, done. What are you doing? You know, being in church feels like it's a long time and it's a burden. How hard it's going to be in heaven when we do it all day long. You know, you ever been in worship service and people are singing, right? I like the hymns, the old hymns. I like them, right? Some of these churches, they just say over and over and over and over and over and over. 15 minutes later, and they're still saying it over, right? After the second time, I'm like, did we just not say this? And they get more exciting, and I'm like, all right, I mean, I'm okay. I like the Amazing Grace, In the Blood, the one we sung today. You know, they got a beginning and they got an end. You know, you say over and over and over. It's like, all right, God gets it. I get it. We're saved by the blood. Let's go. Right? And they sing it again. And you're like, God, but that's me serving my body. See, we're in church. What master am I serving? Old Joe. I'm not serving Satan because I'm in church. I love God. But I'm serving Joe because his whole body's like, come on, let's get the message. I mean, if you stop singing now, I might get out and see the first half of the football game. Because it's old Joe's mind thinking, you know, because I want to serve this body and not serve God. What God are we serving? Because I tell you, everything I'm preaching to you, I've done it. I've been it. I served myself way too many times. That's where I'm convicted about the no-name people. Because sometimes the no-name people will do something and convict you even more. You know, being at the door every Sunday, opening that door for people and letting them in. I did it at Shenandoah. When I left, they said, man, nobody does it no more. They said, y'all had the candy, handing it to them every week, right? And I was just like, I enjoy doing it, right? I didn't realize how much joy I brought the no-name person. Some of them didn't even know who I was, right? I didn't have, hey, I mean, I talked to them. They knew the face, but they didn't really communicate. It was a no-name person. Not saying that I was a one of these greats in the Bible, but I was in my spot doing what God asked me to do. I didn't miss the opportunity. Like the guy didn't miss the opportunity to seat them 2 boys. How many times we missed the opportunity because we weren't there? We weren't at the gas station talking to that person. We weren't at the going out to eat. There's nothing wrong going out to eat, right? So if you guys, wives, you want to talk to, hey, he said there's nothing wrong going out to eat. Come on, right? Talk to the waitress about the Lord. Leave a thank you card with a track in it, right? There's nothing wrong with that, right? Don't miss the opportunity because you don't know where you could change someone's life. What master are you serving every moment of the day? Because you think about it, if you're not serving God, you're serving yourself. Don't want to say Satan, but who's getting the credit? Because if you're not serving God, God don't want the credit. Satan's definitely over there giggling. I got to know it. Because I guarantee you, he's after us more than anybody else. You go, why? Because you're saved. A lost person, he already got. He wants us because if we fall, nobody else gets saved. If we aren't doing our job, and guess what? We're not, because Pastor, I don't know if he told this before. I've heard it many a time, and I know you guys heard it. You know, if you went out and got one person saved, and then that one person and you went out the next day and got one person saved, and you 4, and just, right? It would take like, 2 months, is it? Something like that, and the whole world would be saved. That's all it takes. In 2 months, all you had to do 60 people probably in that 2 months. There's so many Christians, we should be doing that every day anyway. The world should already be saved. But hey, I haven't been out. I haven't got one probably in 60 days that I preached the word of God, but I might have sowed the seed, but I haven't been able to reap any yet. I haven't been able to reap. Now, I was a school bus kid. I know Mom probably prayed over that kid. Grandma been praying over that kid. Just because I was there and I was able to lead that kid to the Lord, all I did was reap somebody else's sowing. Somebody else might reap your sowing, but keep sowing. Just keep sowing. Keep sowing. Barb, probably, you're a sower, right? You like sowing. Do you have every bit of everything that you sowed? You have every bit of, other people have it, right? Are they reaping what you sow? They're reaping what she sowed. She don't have see how that works? You might not reap, but she keeps sowing. Barb keeps sowing. I mean, there's been items here. Is this something that you sowed? Right? We're getting blessed here with her sowing. I mean, she done stuff for the Vacation Bible School. Russ sewed a pyramid with Pastor. You two built it, right? Or just one of y'all? I know it was out there. But y'all put a pyramid out there, right? People reap to that. Because I guarantee people drove by and goes, wow, what's that? Right? It got to, you sowed something. You didn't get to reap it, but it might have got somebody else. You don't know. You might be till you get to heaven before you find out. You know, that man that led them 2 boys down could have died before Billy Graham got big. He probably never knew who Billy Graham was. Just 2 teenagers he sat down. Right? The no-name people, the things they did, right? They're more known. The 3 wise men, I mean, look at the history of them. And nobody knows none of their names. You know what kind of ointment or what they brung, but you don't know their names. And I'm just like, man, that's crazy. I never thought about that when I was reading this message. So be a sower. You might not reap. You might reap it one day. Be glad that God put you in that position to reap it, right? To harvest it, to be able to get it, be able to serve God. But we got to be careful not to serve this, because this is what we want to serve. Because I'll be honest with you, right? I'm fat because I like to eat, right? I mean, you don't get fat a lot of times unless you like to eat like Brother Joe, right? I like to eat. That's why I'm fat. I'll admit it, right? I've been trying to get healthier and eat vegetables. Right? I eat a lot of garden stuff this year, but I eat a lot of other stuff too, right? But we got to watch what we do because I'm thinking about food. I'm ready for Burger King. I'm gonna probably get Burger King when I leave here. My mind is thinking about Burger King and going, this message is getting a little long, Brother Joe. You said short, but because I want to serve here. Even as a pastor, we get that way. I want to serve this and forget who I'm really here to serve. God is our master. God is the one we need to serve all time. That 15 minutes of prayer that he's talking about, we should be able to go in our closet and pray 15 minutes and not blink an eye. Brother Joe has a struggle to close his eyes for more than a minute, right, to pray. And you go, really? Yeah, because my mind just so rattled up. I'll read a verse like Pastor says. How many times in the morning you go, all right, I'll read this, and then you're done, and then you pray, right, and then you get to work, and you're like, oh, man, the Red Sox won 7-6 last night. Did you see that game where that guy hit the triple? And the guy goes, what verse did you read this morning? I think I'm in Matthew, maybe. I really don't know. I can't remember. What was you praying about this morning? My health? And we've been praying all week about our church. We're praying for our church. We're praying for more visitors come in. We're praying. And that's where man, this brain it wants to serve the body too, because it wants you to think about the ball games because nothing wrong with ball games, but when you priority, and I found out many times that I priority sporting events and stuff over God. Really, wake up and go, oh, it's a football game today, right? Let me get my chips, let me get my drinks, but my prayer closet, I haven't put no water in there for me. I haven't put nothing like maybe little crackers. You go, why is that? You ever get in prayer closet and start getting hungry? Every time. It seems like that's when I get hungry the most. Right? I even have a little towel because for whatever reason, the AC hits every spot but that one. Right? When I first get there, it's nice. It's 20 degrees there. I'm cold. All of a sudden, I start being there for a second. My head sweats. I'm hot. I take off my jacket, and I'm like, man, why is it so hot in my prayer closet? Right? And you go, where's your prayer closet at? Right? It's beside my bed. Right? The AC blows on it. At night, I wear a blanket because it freezes me. But when I'm praying there, it feels like that air don't blow at all. Right? It just stops, even though it's still blowing out 20 degrees. Right? Because that's my body going, oh, you need to get up. You go do something else. And that's where, what are we serving? I don't know about you guys. Some of y'all have to sit on the bed because even now I'm getting to the point sometimes I'll sit on the bed. You go, why? Man, that knee hurts after 10 minutes of being on the floor. The floor hurts. I'm at that age where things crack when I get up. Right? I think I'm eating cereal, snap, crackle, and pop. Right? It sounds like that. Right? But that's where we got to watch what we serve. We got to have that quiet time. Right? I'm getting better. Remember how I told you that I can have my cell phone, my TV, and then I'm eliminating one or the other when I'm praying. I'm trying to get rid of all of them and just do me and God time. Because a lot of us, because you know what I was doing? I was serving me, multitasking. I wasn't serving God. I'm trying to get better at that. Right? How many of us were guilty of it? I'm the first one to say I'm guilty all the time because God deals with me in ways that, like Pastor, we both said it today. What we're preaching on the day, God gave us the how for us to need to, but didn't show us the why. I had to go find the why because I can't serve two guys at one time. He had to do the same thing. He had to say, why, God? Because God will give you a reason for you, not for me. Right? He gave me this message. If you guys get nothing out of it and everything, trust me, he preaching to me. The pastor 15-minute thing, I took that personal. Right? I sound like a lot of you guys did, and I'm glad, right, that pastor's got our hearts and our God's power that he can put it on us and convict us like he does. I love our pastor for that reason. So, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I know I said I was going to be short. I don't even know what time it is. Am I way over? Probably. Okay. All right, not bad. All right, a little bit quicker than pastor, but And so, but God blessed us. I'm going to let Pastor come up. We're going to stop the thing, but I'm going to pray with you guys. Just try not to serve our body as much as we do. I mean, don't get me wrong. You got to eat. You got to drink, right? But let's serve God first before we start trying to serve ourselves first. Because then we'll love our wives, our kids, ourselves, and everyone a little bit better. Then we'll see the souls, and we'll reach out to the souls. If we're serving ourselves, the prayer ain't going to help either. Because we're not doing nothing but serving ourselves. Because when we finally go get that one person, we want the pat on our back. Right? And that's what we don't need. We need to be the no-name Christians. And so let us pray. Our dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this message that you laid upon my heart. Hopefully it was a need that everybody could use today. Just let us take it home today and work on it and just put it in our hearts and strive to serve you a little bit more and just have